Welcome to Puppet Master FPV. So today, you can blame Chad Capper for doing that. I've been watching his videos and he has a focus issue where he likes to do the in and out focus really fast, and now I'm doing it. It's terrible. So anyways, I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm way overdue, and I have had a couple really fortunate things happen to me recently, which allow me to do a couple new product reviews because just haven't had the ability to really procure some new product for you guys recently. But we do have some new stuff to go over, and I'm very excited about it. So let's get right into it. What you see before you now, this is your FPV Race Quad RTF all-in-one bundle Extreme FPV Race Pack by Hobbyco. I was a winner in the Drum Camps RC giveaway. I highly suggest everyone that watches this or watches my channel, if you're not already a subscriber to Drone Camps RC, Justin Davis is the proprietor of said channel, and he does a beyond excellent job of covering not only FPV equipment, but other associated RC equipment. He does a focus on quads and FPV, but he covers everything from bashers to RC tanks to wings. Covers extensively run cam products, which he got me onto, and are one of my favorite FPV cameras and HD camera systems, the Run Cam 2. So a lot of good stuff there. All I had to do was make a comment on one of the videos as he does these giveaways, and that entered me into running for it, and I never win anything, so I was beyond ecstatic. And this is a really neat quad, suited more for a beginner, at most an intermediate pilot. It's great for someone who wants to get everything they absolutely need in one box and get out flying. This is kind of one of the few options you have out there, and it's a good one. And I'm going to cover basically what I want this to be is the Vusion review that you're not going to find out there on the internet. Okay, when people do reviews of stuff, a lot of times they just get the product, they look over it, maybe they'll fly it once, and then they give their opinions on it. I've been flying this at least once a day, more like 2, 3, 4 times a day for the last week. So I have a different take than someone who just received the product and barely, has really put time into it. Because anytime you have any kind of quad or system like this, there's going to be quirks, there's going to be positives, there's going to be negatives, and until you really get your hands on it and do some everyday flying, you're not going to know what those things are. But once you do, I think it's important to put that out there, the positives and the negatives, so that people, when they get the product, it's easier for them to use, because there's a learning curve, and sometimes that learning curve can be steep when you're entering into the world of FPV and mini drones, or mini quads. So in order to make that a little less steep and give you some tools maybe that'll make your flying of it easier and more enjoyable, I hope you watch this video. So with no further ado, let's get started. The Vusion Race Pack, which retails for about $350, comes with a Rise transmitter. You power this on first. You can see from the lights on the bottom. And then you would go and plug in your battery in your quad. Okay? And you will hear 2 beeps. In fact, let me put the battery in. Let's just demonstrate everything for you so you understand what I'm talking about. To place the battery, I like to put it with the label up. Make sure your balance cable is tucked in there. Now that the radio is on, we can just go ahead and plug it in. It's got this weird universal cable. instead of the XT60 that you would normally find. That's okay. I had my charger actually came with one of these adapters stock instead of like an XT60, so I am able to charge it up on my high-tech charger, and which charges a bit faster than the just regular balance lead charger that they give you. They do give you a charger with this though, and I will show you what that is. So here is the quad powered up. You can see it has wonderful front LEDs, these bright white LEDs, and then it has an alternate color, equally bright, and I like how they're like these like force bars, you know, like look like thrust bars almost or something. They're really cool. I give them mad props on their lights. They got really bright LEDs and very easy to orientate the craft at night or in low light. Red in the rear, white in the front. And it's a modular design, so it's got, ooh, crappy there. Do some hot glue tonight. Okay, it's got a modular design, so if you break an arm, all you do is take the quad apart, remove that arm, buy a new arm, put it on, and you're good to go. The frame is all modular, so that makes it easy. Now it's got you can see it's got a circularized polarized antenna that screws in right here at the top. The stock antenna looks like this. It is also an omnidirectional antenna. It's just not that high quality to me, and it's a shorty. And on this full-size quad, I prefer to have a full-length antenna. So I had an Aries set of an RX-TX, and I used the RX on my FPV screen, my tactics screen that I record all my DVR footage from. So I put the TX on this because they're RPSMA antennas, and this is an RPSMA adapter. So know that when you buy the Vusion, your antenna adapter is not SMA, it will be RPSMA. So if you're going to buy an upgraded or alternate antenna, know that what you're dealing with. And I wouldn't recommend buying an SMA and an adapter. I would just get a true RPSMA antenna. Those adapters are garbage. Don't try switching antennas over to something they're not. In theory, it sounds good, but the connectors they make are just shit, so I would recommend not wasting your $4 or $5 on them. Just don't bother. Just go get a real antenna that is designed for that. Okay, here's the camera that pops up. You see it's kind of nice. It's flush. If you don't want it, if you do, you can just pop it up. The only problem with this design flaw is anytime you hit hard on the ground, which I guess I can't do it here, but anytime I've dipped in the grass a few times, the camera goes like this. So I gotta walk out in the middle of the field, find it, pop it back up, even though it lands almost flat all the time. But sometimes your camera will dip. So just be aware of that. Pop it up as much as you can. And if you want, apply some tape or something to it. So if you do dip, it won't fall back down into the quad. It's got nice landing gear on the bottom, as you can see, which help impact and taking off in the grass and stuff. It also comes with these stock propellers, which I've traded out. I've done a couple modifications already on it. And these are very durable and propellers. They're big, heavy, not much pitch propellers. Floppy as hell. Look at that. So I put on these much more rigid and nice tri-blade doll props, and it's been flying like a dream with them on it. So I really like the tri-blade. I would recommend, as soon as you get it, tear off these garbage props that come with it and put on a decent pair of props. It's really not expensive to get yourself a nice pair of tri-blade props. And put them on. They'll last a long time. I also have some HQ props that I'm going to try on it that are tri-blade. If I can find them. Here they are. We're going to try throwing these puppies on it maybe tomorrow or the next day and see how. These are a lot less rigid than these, but they have a more interesting pitch and design. They have this weird snubbed nose design. They're kind of cool. I've used them on my wing, and they also sound really cool. They make a lot of mean noise. So we'll go ahead and give those a try. So, okay, back to what do you get in the package, and how to operate it, and what are the best ways to do that. Know on your remote, basically, to arm it is going to be down and in. Down and to the left is disarm. Okay, very simple. This does not have a USB port. There's no way to plug this into Betaflight or CleanFlight. Your PIDs and everything in it are exactly the way they are. That's just the way it is. You got to live with it. There are 3 flight modes. Your flight mode button is going to be here on the left. All the way down is angle mode. In the middle is horizon. And all the way up is full acro mode, where you'll have no accelerometer or leveling help. You're basically on your own. And that is my favorite way to fly. On the other side, there is a dual rate switch. Let's see if you can show you guys that. Yeah, this guy right here, dual rates. Leave that down. I mean, okay, if you're really intro beginner, go ahead and flip it up for a minute. Fly with it till you get comfortable, and take it down. This really reduces the throw and the roll and the pitch. So you could be in full acro mode and your dual rates is up and you're thinking, okay, I'll do a flip. Whoa, your flip just took 3 times longer to get around because the exponential is on. So yeah, leave that down. That just slows down your roll and pitch rate, and it gives you some expo. So keep that down. Then when you're in acro, your rolls and flips will be a lot tighter, and it will be a lot easier to pull freestyle acrobatic maneuvers. Yeah, this is how you trim it out. They should all beep when you click on them. Then you know they're good. Okay. Let's see, what else? Oh, the best way to record on this is not in the, you can put the, jumping ahead of myself. It also comes with a full FPV screen, okay? It comes with this Tactic, really nice 4.3 inch, I believe. And of course, these geniuses, they put it in backwards. Yeah, the Tactic screen is always upside down. So, okay, but it looks right when it's popped up. So, oh, geez. See there. It's got a nice sunscreen on it. You pop this off. It also slides into a goggle unit. So you have 2 choices. You can slide it into here. Here, let's go ahead and turn it on. I can show you. And there's a picture from the FPV screen. You can see it's a decent camera, 600 TVL. You know, kind of crappy conditions here in the kitchen, but you can adjust the camera settings on the FPV screen, or at least the FPV screen settings. Camera settings, I don't really think they're just the way they are as far as I can tell. But you can adjust contrast, brightness, and backlight on the FPV screen itself. So, okay. Just for shits and gigs, I'll show you how easy it is to fly this and how well controlled it is. I'll bring it up real low for just a second here, right here on the floor in my house. Because that's what we can do. Let's just take it off acro, leave it in. You can see it's relatively quiet. Mini quad. It's actually really quiet compared to a lot of these other ones. The brushless motors and just the way they have it set up. It's really nice. So there you go. You got a little demonstration of it. With my upgraded antenna, I get just superb FPV footage now. That was the one problem before. I just would get really crappy reception, and I'd have to. It's difficult to fly. If you can't see FPV, the most important thing is the vision, the line of sight, being able to see. So here with the FPV screen, a couple quick things to show you. There's your SD slot in the back. This card slides in backwards. Okay, so like the front of the card facing to the back, and just slides right in. You can take up to a 32 gig card. 64 won't work. I've tried. Here, if you hit the menu button on the left, what that will do is allow you to switch between contrast, brightness, backlight, and adjust your settings. Over here on the right, you have the band mode and channel to go ahead, and if you hold down band for a few seconds, it'll do a band scan and find the strongest signal. And then down here on the bottom, the V, it should be R, is record. If you hit V, it'll start recording when you have an SD card loaded in here. I recommend, though, using that with your other FPV equipment recording. On the Vusion, what they did, which is kind of unique and a very neat feature, is they put an SD port actually in the quad itself and recording. So, and I guess there's a DVR inside it, and it records at a much higher quality rate because it's not analog, right? It's getting recorded right from the quad. So you actually get like 720p quality. The camera's not the greatest, but the quality of the picture is much, much better than the DVR without any lag. And it also has a microphone, so you can hear the sound of the engines, which is really nice. So if you want to check in my YouTube channel, Puppet Master FPV, you can see some cool videos of the DVR footage taken from the Vusion. When I fly it now, I pretty much put the card in there every time because it's so much more enjoyable and better footage than if I just record from the DVR. I like the quad. It's a beginner intermediate. So, you know, I've been flying the Vortex 150 a lot, and this is completely different. It's a lot heavier. It's a lot slower. But that's not to say it's not fun or enjoyable to fly. I actually have been having a blast flying this thing. And it's just, for what you get for $350, it has great value. You just have to realize that it's like, it's not a true race quad. It's not that fast actually, especially with 3S battery, and it's kind of heavy. But it gets you, it's designed like a race quad, and it gets you in the door, and it gets you flying, and whets the taste, right? And then you're going to go out and get a real race quad, and you're going to get a real radio and a set of goggles and all that jazz. But this is a great place to start where it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars. And with this investment, you know, you can decide, well, hey, this is for me or this is not. And if it's not, and you haven't destroyed your product, you can sell the whole system again, you know, with maybe a decent return on your money. Because it is a complete package, which is nice. A lot of people looking to get into it are looking for that. You know, oh, I have a drone, but I got to go buy goggles, a radio, this, that, the other, and oh my God, I'm never going to be able to afford that. But with this, you say, hey, you got $300, boom, you're done. You got it all. So yes, I very much like the Vusion Extreme FPV Race Pack from Hobbyco. I think little tiny upgrades that you do on your own, put your own CPA antenna on it, put on some tri-blade props, and you'll really enjoy flying this thing. It's got a big 1500 3S milliamp pack on it, so honestly, I get 7 to 8 minutes flight time, it seems like, on this all the time. So that's really good too. Really long, good flight times. So I know I'm missing something. I usually do. Huge shout out and thank you to Justin Davis at Drone Camps RC. That was how I was able to have this product to review to you guys. And he does an excellent review on this product. If you are interested in the Vusion at all, I highly, highly recommend going over to Drone Camps RC and watching Justin's videos on said product, because he kind of will cover everything I don't. Thanks for watching Puppet Master FPV. Please stay tuned. We do have another, saying I'm way too much. We do have another review video I'm going to put out tonight on the Fat Shark Transformer binocular viewer, and the Luminaire tri-blade props that I've been putting on the Vortex that I really like. But this binocular viewer is amazing, and I'm going to do a quick review on that because when you put that on, that is the most immersive, best goggle view I have seen. It's better than the HD3s, it's better than the HD2s. There is nothing that compares to this. Nothing. So stay tuned for that. All right, thanks guys. Keep flying.